I'm putting an end to crime in GTA by trying to beat every game with no wanted stars. So after taking on Los Santos, Liberty City again, and Liberty City again, it's time to throw it back to the 90s for... And I have to beat the entire game without committing crime. Or at least without gaining wanted stars. So can I beat GTA San Andreas without gaining any wanted stars? And if not, what's the minimum I can get this wanted stars attained stat by the end of the game? I'm playing the original version of San Andreas on PC, not the definitive edition.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
This game is also 20 years old at this point, so it's missing a lot of basic features games have nowadays that makes it much more tedious to play through. For one, there are no checkpoints and no autosaves, so after every single mission, I have to go back to a safe house, and if I get wanted during that time, I have to redo the entire mission. Fast travel in this game is super limited, and taxis don't work like 4 and 5, so I have to walk or drive myself everywhere. And if I need to drive, I better pray getting in a car doesn't make me wanted. Let's jump right in.
Oh shit, here we go again.
The story started off with CJ returning home to Los Santos for his mother's funeral. The cops gave me a ride, and as is tradition for Rockstar PC ports, this was basically unplayable until I configured a bunch of settings. Also, the game kept crashing on the first mission, so I got to watch this cutscene like 3 times.
Oh shit, here we go again.
But after fighting with the controls for a bit, I made it back to CJ's house. Big Smoke gave me a friendly greeting.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
And then we went to the cemetery, where some ballas jumped me and my boys, and somehow I managed to fail on the very first mission.
Come on, CJ! You can't keep up with the fat man!
Well, Smoke, considering they were only shooting at me, no. And man, that mission pass sound slaps. Oh, and soon after, Ryder made me get a haircut.
Maybe you got rid of that old yee ass haircut you got.
But the barber just gave me a stash, and that seemed to be good enough for him. So we also went out to get pizza, and Ryder conveniently forgot to mention we were robbing this place for all $8 in the cash register. And this guy somehow had a shotgun to defend it. This failed robbery attempt didn't give me any wanted stars, but next I needed to do more stuff for Grove Street, so I went to spray over these ballas tags, and it was actually kind of fun to just spray people in the face. But that gave me wanted stars, so I had to redo it.
Okay, I like it, Picasso.
The cop told me not to leave town, so instead I went to play baseball with some local drug dealers.
One team would beat the other team to death with these things called baseball bats, and the best bats were called swatters. True fact.
As a little treat, we also got some Cluckenbell.
I'll have 2 number 9s.
A number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
And Big Smoke literally did not care that we were being shot at. This man was hungry. But Ryder and Sweet took care of the other guys. I changed up my appearance a bit, and this cop did not care at all about gang violence right behind him, unless I was in it, but that meant I picked up a free gun. And speaking of guns, we went to get some more from this guy Emmett so we could destroy a random car. But in doing more work for Grove Street, I came to the mission drive-by where you can probably guess what I had to do.
Do us a little drive-by, huh?
But after we took out this last group of ballas, I was given 2 forced wanted stars, and these did add to my stats. Whether I killed the ballas or not, the wanted stars still got added, so from what I could tell, there was no way to avoid these first 2 stars. I wasn't shocked since this was basically the intro to Pay and Spray, but from now on, I'll keep track of how many wanted stars I attained. Sweet called me to pick him up, and somehow I caught on fire and had to restart. And why does this car look like I'm late for the Hogwarts Express?
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
CJ's sister Kendall went to meet some guys, so I headed over to get a new car and join a lowrider competition, which I had no idea how to control, so I failed like 3 times. But eventually I figured it out and earned $1,000 by winning. Kendall's new boyfriend Caesar turned out to be pretty cool, and he even called me after.
You talking illegal street racing.
Yeah, can you say that louder over the phone, CJ? And then I had to change into a better fit so I could go rob someone with Sweet. His ass did not want to be there. And this mission just involved carrying some crates outside the same way I carried my gang in every mission. I also found out I could perform robberies at night, but that is illegal. And CJ's an angel, so he can't be caught doing that.
Later, Daddy.
Ryder was making some soup, and these cops wanted some, so they told us about a train we could rob, which they also told other gangs about, so I had to go kill all of them. I got to lightly toss some crates at Ryder.
Trying to kill me.
Yeah, kinda. But unfortunately, the cops came back for their soup after we got the crates, and I had 3 more wanted stars. There wasn't much I could do here since these were scripted, so 3 more added to the count. To make matters worse, next it was time to rob the army, and I was sure that I was about to get a 7-star wanted level. The police even showed up, but they didn't interfere, and instead I got to do this stupid ass mission. Ryder was completely useless, and I had to save him while awkwardly moving these crates with a forklift. Soldiers chased us, but no wanted stars, until I accidentally ran someone over after the mission and had to redo the whole thing again. Next it was time to pick up an old friend, Jeffrey, who now went by OG Loke, and he was hunting down a very intimate friend.
Jeffrey, you got the wrong idea, man. That was just a prison thing.
We chased him down so Loke could blow him
What?
up. Also, the bike we were on disappeared after the chase, so I had to walk for like 5 minutes to Burger Shot.
Thanks for the ride, CJ.
What ride, Loke? What ride? I also went to the gym and fully was not paying attention because I got knocked out and sent to the hospital, which meant I lost all of my weapons, and I kinda didn't realize this for a mission, so I just went with it. I ran into Officer Tenpenny at Big Smoke's house before Smoke and I went to get his cousin Mary, which meant hunting down weed dealers. Oh, and I didn't have a gun at this point, so I kinda just had to stomp him to death. Next up was the dreaded train mission, and Tenpenny was once again at Smoke's house. At first, I completely failed.
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
But on my second attempt, Smoke actually helped me beat the mission, and I never got wanted. Next up, Smoke took me to this atrium for a business meeting.
Hey, look, if you hear shit start to pop off, come in here blasting, alright?
Bro, I have 15 bullets in a dream. Inside, I picked up a gun though. This mission ended in the dreaded passenger drive, but in this game, I basically never got wanted stars while someone else was driving, so this part was a breeze. And now back to OG Loke, who told me about a sound system I could steal from a beach party. Wow, this party is pretty crazy. I had to seduce the DJ to get in this van, and she really loved my dancing.
Are you okay?
I don't know why I did all that instead of just stealing the van immediately, but technically this was crime-free. Unfortunately, Loke was much better at dropping soap than dropping bars, and couldn't write for his life.
The world could do.
That
It's
shit
like I.
sucks. Damn.
So I snuck into this rapper Mad Dog's house and stole his rhyme book. Find an area with shadows, but there aren't any. Yeah, so I killed like a dozen people for this rhyme book, by the way, but the cops didn't value any of their lives, and neither did I, so I continued. Next, Loke wanted me to meet Mad Dog's manager.
I want you to take that mother out. I mean, date him.
So I took him on a beach date. Then Loke got fired, so I had to change up my look for his unemployment party. And some ballers tried to jump in, but we denied them entry. Afterwards, I got in a quick street race before meeting with Tenpenny at this donut shop where he told me to Molotov a gang's house. I died at first, but then after this, I kept getting wanted stars. It was painful. Even worse, once I torched the place, I got a prompt to save the girl. This ain't the Avengers, I just killed like 10 people outside. Wait, maybe I can save this guy. Yeah, probably not. Okay, CJ, all we have to do is make it out with the girl. No, that's not what I meant. And suddenly she was my girlfriend.
Give me a call sometime. We should go out or something.
I literally almost burned you alive. Okay, and why does CJ keep acting annoyed the police found him when he keeps going to their hangout spot? Anyway, they told me about a meeting with Ballas and Russians that I needed to crash, and shooting at enemies outside of this warehouse sometimes gave me wanted stars, but once I was inside, I was able to clear it out without gaining any wanted level. Though immediately after the mission, I accidentally shot on my bike and got wanted, so I had to pass this mission twice. Next, I needed to fight more Ballas and gain territory for Grove Street, which would become important much later. The next mission also involved killing Ballas, and it was one of the most painful ones in the game. I still had to put Grove Street on the map by going to a funeral to kill people. There was one specific guy I needed to target, and my crew didn't do much here. Unfortunately, this graveyard always had a cop nearby, and I found myself getting a random wanted star even with nobody around. The best strategy I could find was to get in this car, let enemies shoot it until it caught fire, and then run away. If I timed it just right, the car would blow up and kill a bunch of enemies, which technically wasn't my fault and thus wouldn't give me wanted stars. I could sometimes shoot an enemy or two, but if I did more than that, I would get wanted. After many attempts, I cleared the Ballas, but somehow Sweet got killed too. I wonder whose fault that could be. I mean, truly, just beyond useless allies. After about an hour and a half, I finally got a perfect car explosion and beat the mission with no wanted stars. And this exploding car strategy would be extremely useful in future missions, as long as I didn't screw it up. And after killing some ballas, the families were set to reunite with Sweet as our leader. But of course, police showed up, so CJ volunteered to save him, while Ryder and Big Smoke ditched. I fought my way in, CJ, again, not the time, rescued Sweet, and had to shoot at cops chasing us, while also enjoying the taste of an ice-cold Sprunk, who is once again not the sponsor of this video. Oh yeah, and you basically can't get wanted stars in this mission from shooting the cops. Also, shout out this gunfiring animation. Okay, what did this guy expect to happen when he jumped on the car? I mean, really. And yet, all of this still didn't raise my wanted level. And I was ready to kill more ballas, but suddenly Caesar gave me a call.
Just in time, ese. Take a good hard look over there.
Nico, it's Roman. Let's go bowling.
I also saw proof that Ryder and Big Snake were betraying me. Sweet was going right into an ambush and I had to rescue him as soon as possible. For this part, I mostly had to use the exploding car strategy from before and be pacifist as much as possible. I could get away with running over a few guys without being wanted, but I mostly got them to shoot at me and park the car just right so that when it blew up, it would kill a bunch of them. Though sometimes the car would blow up quicker than I expected and I couldn't get out before it blew up. And I had to clear out everyone before the police would come and arrest me and Sweet. Just getting the car explosions to work properly and not kill me took many attempts, and even though I was arrested, I had no more wanted stars to my name. I was far from Los Santos and Tenpenny dropped me off in the middle of nowhere.
Now you stay the away from smoke.
And I was tasked with taking out a cop that was going to testify against Tenpenny. So now I had nothing but a camera and my new home in the trailer park. Naturally, the first thing I did was go to the Evil Dead cabin, and this guy under police protection decided to run off on his own, so I got him to crash pretty easily and I took a photo. And I don't know why no police followed him, but no wanted stars for me. Meanwhile, Caesar called and told me to go meet his cousin, who was kinda bad. And by that, I mean she had 4 robberies she wanted me to help with. Caesar, why would you do this to me? First up, we went to rob a gas station, but stole a tanker instead. There wasn't much of a chase, so I got away pretty easily. And I didn't want to risk wanted stars by stealing a car, so it took forever to walk to the closest save area. I found Tenpenny smoking, but he could never outsmoke the GOAT, Little Jacob. He introduced me to the Truth, who had me steal a harvester as part of a drug deal, so I went to work. Soon after, I met up with Caesar and Kendall, who got ran out of Los Santos. And I found out that Smoke was selling coke he got from San Fierro. I also had to go do another mission with Catalina.
Baby, without you, there is no Carl Johnson.
Okay, this man has serious relationship issues. He met her once before this. We went to rob another liquor store, but these guys beat us to it, so I had to chase them down and steal back our money. In the next mission, we had to rob a track betting shop, and horses weren't the only thing someone was riding.
Yes, faster!
We also rode in this car. Of course, to rob this place, we needed to blow up a safe, but doing so instantly gave me wanted stars. Now, I figured this was bad luck, and on a redo, I only got 1 wanted star. But as soon as I left the betting shop, the wanted level immediately jumped to 4. This didn't double count the first wanted star, but still, a 4-star wanted level was scripted here, which was super disappointing and forced me to take a major hit to my counter. Okay, Catalina, I've had enough of this.
Come on, try it.
Finally, we had to rob a bank, and in this first part, I had to guard the suspects and force them to keep their hands up or they would hit the alarm, instantly giving me 3 wanted stars. No matter what though, it seemed impossible since their hands started to move so fast, and if I killed any of them, I would also get wanted. This sort of fell into scripted stars as well, and unfortunately added 3 more to my count. To cheer me up from Catalina ruining everything, Caesar called and told me about more street racing, so I went to work by promptly murdering this other racer, who somehow respawned anyway, but I still won the race. I met Woozy Moo, who would be very important for the rest of the game, and I won the next race, which gave me a garage in San Fierro. Catalina was also there and had a new man named Claude. Oh hell nah, I'm not letting this guy steal my girl. In the final countryside mission, I went to help the Truth light up his weed before the cops arrived, though the first time I met the Truth, a cop was lighting up his weed. After the crops were burned, I RPG'd this police chopper and moved on with no issues, or so I thought. I got through several more missions before I realized I had 5 more wanted stars with no idea where they came from. Luckily, I'd been saving after every mission, and I realized that this was the culprit. When shooting down the police chopper, I went frame by frame, and wanted stars never appeared. Sometimes, I could hear the police radio to indicate I was wanted, but nothing showed up on screen. except for in my stats page. The number of wanted stars kept changing, and after many attempts, I was getting pretty impatient. But this time, I tried shooting at the helicopter from the complete opposite end of the field, and being so far away with the RPG made it super hard to be accurate. I was getting low on ammo, and with one shot left,
one opportunity,
I missed. But there was more ammo for me. Still, I cut it down to the wire, and with 6 seconds left, I managed to snipe this helicopter without gaining any wanted stars. And then it was on to San Fierro.
City of psychedelic weapons.
The truth that I made it to San Fierro and found out the garage I won was in need of some fixing up.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the?
Yeah, I got scammed. Then the truth took me to recruit people to work at the garage, and even though he was being a bit weird,
Don't look. Cover your faces. Think about a yellow rubber duck.
we picked up some of his friends, Jethro, Dwayne, and Zero, who had plenty of optional missions, which meant I was going to do 0 of them. And after that, Tenpenny gave me a call.
Why don't you put that up in his car and give Tip a call?
the code of the streets is that I don't snitch.
CJ, please, I give you $3.
Oh, yeah? Well, where I go find him?
CJ did some work as a valet, planting evidence in this DA's car. I managed to mess it up at the last second and did this mission 3 times, but I never got wanted, just the DA. Meanwhile, I found out that some construction workers were harassing Kendall, so I did the most fair and logical thing. Destroyed their workplace and buried the foreman alive in a porta potty.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Alright, this was actually a little psychotic, maybe I should add some wanted stars here. Caesar called, so we followed Abala's van to a meetup where we saw Ryder, did some recon, and learned about the Loco Syndicate crime gang.
That was some heavy shit.
Dude, we literally just drove for 10 minutes and took pictures. After this, we learned the names of the guys we photographed.
And who's that guy?
That's Jizzy B. He's the biggest pimp in town.
I drove over to Jizzy's place, who was charming.
See, I only got 2 eyes.
Yep, we all see that. He had a bunch of tasks for me, which all involved potential wanted stars. I had to drop off this girl, shoot this guy, shoot this other guy, then chase this car, and to top it all off, the mission ended with 2 scripted wanted stars. I tried this a few times, but sure enough, no matter how I got the last kill, the stars were scripted.
That car just come up over on the APB.
Are you serious? I did all that work for you just to get wanted anyway? Call me one of your girls because I just got Yeah, not thrilled about this, but I had no other choice than to take 2 here.
Treat that baby like the Pope Mobile.
My friend Woozy gave me a call to visit him in Chinatown, so I headed over there next.
You know of the boss's curse? He's blind.
And outside, we got ambushed by the Da Nang boys. Alright, his ass is not blind, he just likes attention.
You drive. I'll send them back to the sewer.
Okay, well, maybe he is blind. Still, none of this shooting got me wanted. Next, I got ambushed while picking up a car from the airport, but just completely ignored my attackers and delivered this car with no issues. I had to lure some Da Nang boys away from Chinatown, and they took the bait. Soon after, Woozy wanted me to bug the Da Nang boys' ship, but to do so, I needed to level up my lung capacity. So I basically spent 30 minutes waterboarding CJ, leveled up, and came back to do the mission. I basically just had to swim out to this ship, and the game told me to be stealthy, but going knife only got me bullied real quick, so I had to redo it with the silenced pistol, and the police didn't care. After that boring boat mission, we got a cool boat mission. Of course, we got shot down in 10 seconds, and basically I had to fight my way through this ship, starting with just a knife, until I could pick up some guns. I got to free some prisoners, and then made my way to the control room.
Enough! We settled this here!
Welcome to America.
It was time to do more work for Jizzy, and this mission had me stealing packages off of bikes with the same button as the shoot button. I could get away with not shooting if I just tapped the button at the right time, but if I held it for too long, I would shoot and could get wanted. Also, wanted stars instantly disappeared, but they still counted, so I had to redo the mission. Oh, and this taxi tried to kill me.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
The next mission proved to be by far one of the messiest. I had to save one of Jizzy's dealers, Mike Torino, who was kidnapped by the Da Nang boys in the airport. If I got lucky, killing the gang didn't give me wanted stars. However, after killing them, I had to destroy a van, and as soon as I did that, I got 2 wanted stars. Whether I shot at it, indirectly blew up the van, or I pushed it into the water, it always resulted in me getting 2 stars. I tried this mission so many times, but the wanted level was inevitable and it got so much worse. The 2 stars were scripted, but just after this, the wanted level would drop to 1, until I left the airport, and then it was scripted to go back up to 3, so surely this would give me 3 wanted stars, right? Wrong. Since the wanted level went from 2 to 1 to 3, this meant I technically gained 4 wanted stars. I felt like bashing my skull into the wall knowing that not only did I replay this mission an absurd number of times, I was getting way too many wanted stars here. So the best way to combat earning wanted stars was to make myself wanted. Okay, that makes no sense, but hear me out. To combat the game's scripted wanted levels, I went and earned 2 wanted stars on my own. Then destroying the van didn't give me any more scripted stars, and the wanted level stayed at 2 rather than dropping back down to 1. This meant I only gained 3 wanted stars here, which was still a major L, but better than 4 stars. Next, I had to help escort Jizzy's friends through roadblocks to a drop-off, and his friend held a gun to my face, but after how that last mission went, I was at peace with it. Being as violent as possible was fine, though the guy driving this van was a moron, because like, dude, just wait until I clear the roadblocks. Anyway, after a couple tries, this was fine. No, it wasn't. Apparently this mission also had 3 automatic wanted stars, just like the first Jizzy mission. I actually hate this man so much. There was basically nothing I could do here since the wanted stars appeared immediately after the cutscene, so sadly, that's 3 more. Somehow, Tenpenny and Pulaski returned and made me kill these journalists that were looking into them. Wait, sniping a reporter on this pier feels familiar. Ah, good times. Oh, also this mission was so far out of the way, I needed to fly back to San Fierro, but accidentally ejected from the plane, and it took forever to get to the next mission. Seriously, this map being so big was such a curse at this part. Caesar handed me a silenced pistol like it was groundbreaking, as if I hadn't had one for like 20 hours. And my next mission was to finally kill Jizzy B. I killed Jizzy and took his phone to find out about a Loco Syndicate meeting with the Ballas. This took me to Pier 69, where I went to kill some Loco Syndicate guys. Ryder was also there, so I had to chase him down in a boat and finish him off. Unfortunately, on the way back, I ended up in Easter Basin by mistake and got 5 wanted stars. This was outside the mission, so I had to kill T-Bone again, and this time I didn't feel like driving a boat, so I just quick-scoped Ryder.
Can't stop me.
Oh, and lucky for me, I forgot to save after this and messed up the very next mission, so I got to play it again for the 3rd time. Torino escaped me in the last mission, but this man was just a bad luck charm in this game, because now I had to take him out in a helicopter, which would be a lot of trouble. This quickly became another mission I attempted so many times. My job was to shoot down the helicopter, and it flew for a very long time before making it to this ambush, where it did eventually escape. But unfortunately, it didn't matter where it was located. At any point, regardless of if anyone else was around, I could not shoot a rocket launcher without getting wanted stars. Whether it was the RPG the game gave me or a heat-seeking missile launcher, shooting it made me wanted no matter what. Even shooting at it from as far as possible didn't work in the same way it did earlier. Shooting it with a gun was also not an option, since that resulted in the same wanted stars. Initially, I kept getting 3 wanted stars, but by being patient, I was able to get this down to 2 by shooting outside of downtown. Still disappointing, but to my knowledge, there was nothing else I could do. Until today. So the wanted stars were forced, but only if I shot a rocket launcher. If I shot a gun and I positioned myself just right, not near the freeway or any police cars, I could actually shoot the helicopter repeatedly with the sniper, and if I did this long enough, the helicopter health would go down to 0 without any new wanted stars. Though it's important to note I found this out way after beating the game, so my stats were off by 2 wanted stars. At this point, the only thing left to take down the Loco Syndicate was to destroy their crack factory. I ran into a cop car on the way, but somehow didn't get wanted, and it didn't affect my stats either. Don't understand that. I fought my way in, was kinda confused and awkwardly sat in the car for a bit, then got out of the warehouse before it exploded while I did a cool little trick. And with that mission complete, I was done with San Fierro, and now on to the desert. Here, I had to drive a monster truck for some reason, and then it was revealed Mike Torino was never in that helicopter I spent hours shooting down and gaining wanted stars for. So that was all for nothing.
Do you have any idea what's going on?
No. Also, I found out Torino was actually working for the feds, so he wasn't really Jizzy's friend. So Torino needed me and Caesar to do work for him, and first we had to steal this big truck and bring it back to the garage. Torino offered to help with my brother in prison, so I went to do more work for him, and this time I had to drive this little dune buggy up a mountain and shoot down more helicopters. This game hates me. Basically, enemy helicopters continuously spawned in. and I had no choice but to use an RPG to shoot them down and protect this helicopter. If I used guns, I would also get wanted stars, and this actually made me get more than 2 wanted stars from using an RPG, so I had to take 2 here. And after dropping off the contraband, I was in the middle of nowhere with no cars in this town. I love the map size. Luckily, since missions were now paying me more, I was rich, so to flex on the haters, I bought an entire airport. And to further traumatize me, the game forced me to take flying lessons, which were near impossible to do with a keyboard and mouse.
Davey, how you doing?
I learned to fly well enough, I guess, which I needed for the next mission to deliver contraband while staying low to the ground. Government agents were onto my airstrip after this, and Trino told me to take them out, so I rode onto this plane and boom. Though getting the bike on took a few tries because I didn't know the controls. My good friend The Truth came back and had a mission for me, which was so top secret not even he knew what it was.
Hey Truth, do we have a plan here?
Go, go, go!
Seriously, what the Truth? So I fought my way into Area 69 and was concerned that I would be getting wanted very soon. Despite murdering countless agents, I never got wanted, and I was able to steal this jetpack and fly away without issue. And after giving it to The Truth, he had more for me to do.
Man, I've tried, but I can't fly for shit. You better do it.
Yeah, flying sounds great, Truth. And he did not explain this well at all.
Get in and steal stuff.
Oh yeah? What stuff?
I don't know yet.
What you mean you don't know yet?
So I had to fly to this train, and I had to shoot at the guys on board, and doing so kept getting me wanted. It was a complete game of luck, but after a few tries, I got some green goo and made it back to The Truth. But actually, what is this stuff? Is it an alien or Nickelodeon slime from the Kids' Choice Awards? Guess I'll never know. And I was already looking at the next area of the game, Las Venturas. Nowhere better to be, with 100k in debt. Now in Las Venturas, I met up with Woozie at his casino, who offered me part of the business if I helped him. The other mafia families were bothering Woozie, so the obvious solution was to tie this guy to the hood of the car and threaten him. I accidentally threatened him a little too much and killed him, but he told me he was from the Sindako family. Next, I had to get explosives to rob a casino, so naturally, I stole them from a quarry. Okay, be very careful with this dynamite, which I already ran over with a 2-ton truck. No wanted stars from this, just a goofy escape. Next, some of Woozie's rivals had a fake chip factory.
Boss, take a look at these 2 chips.
One's a fake. That's amazing. You didn't even touch him.
Well, what do you expect me to guess, CJ, that one's cheddar jalapeno? So I had to go take care of that. And this factory had so many enemies, I kept dying, or near the very end, I got wanted, and then died. So after many painful attempts, I destroyed the factory and beat the mission. The Truth called and told me that he left some people in the desert, so I had to go rescue them, but unfortunately, it was too late.
I was wanking over.
They were already British. Even though I did a great job driving, this guy threw up, and I had to stop at a snake farm for more band members who weren't even there. And speaking of snakes, one of them put his hog in a hog, and the other gave these incest siblings a disease. What the hell is this mission, honestly? Oh, and awesome, this truck could just run me over continuously and kill me. That's cool. On redoing this mission, I didn't want to shoot, so these farmers chased us all the way back to Las Venturas, where I dropped the band with their friend Rosenberg. Since I was a glorified Uber driver at this point, next I went to pick up Johnny Sindako from the hospital and took him to a meatpacking factory. Alright Johnny, give me 5 stars. Wait, no. Tenpenny was grilling with his buddy, and he sent me to steal some info from a DEA officer, so I had to drive an extremely long way to snipe this guy, but ultimately didn't get wanted, so I was fine with that. I went to the same meat factory as before with Rosenberg to make a deal, and my friend Johnny took it about as well as the foreman from earlier took concrete. I'm still haunted by this, CJ. We had a little shootout, but being inside meant no police, so this wasn't too bad. Until, on my way back, a cop car randomly veered into me and made me redo it. Back to Mad Dog, who I directly screwed over to help OG Loke, and now Mad Dog was washed up, begging people for help. But just like his music career, nobody listened to him. Not even his adoring fans.
Jump! Jump! Come on, jump!
He was down bad.
Some asshole stole my rhyme book.
Wow, he could be talking about anyone. I saved him from falling and drove him to the hospital to get him back on track. Then I went back to Woozie's casino, and suddenly I was a co-owner. I don't need money, but nice. Next, I went to do work for another crime family leader, Salvatore Leone, who had Rosenberg and the band tied up for owing him money. Leone had guys coming after him, so I chased their plane, somehow entered it in midair, and had to shoot these guys in first person. Weird mission, but I stole their plane and landed it safely. All of a sudden, Tenpenny gave me a call, and I got to dig a hole. Huh, I wonder who this could be for. His buddy Pulaski tried to kill me, but I ended up chasing him, and when I killed him, I got wanted. Well, duh, dude, you used an RPG. There wasn't a good way to do this other than force him to crash, so that was what I tried to do. Eventually, I got lucky and his car almost flipped, so I stole it and ran him over. Leone had another mission for me, which was to fly to Liberty City, the distance I travel for this game. So I freed Rosenberg and the band and got on board a plane to fly to Liberty City. We are so back, except it's literally just this one restaurant, which I cleared out pretty quick. I got back to San Andreas, and out of nowhere, Sweet called me, depressed as hell. Leone called me and was pretty happy, and then Woozy called to meet me. CJ, you gotta start sending people to voicemail, man. My ass would not have answered any of these calls. Back at the casino, Woozy, Kendall, and I were taking auditions for a new act. Mad Dog pulled up, and it was finally time to return to Los Santos. We flew back and parachuted down to Mad Dog's place, which we had to take back from the drug dealer Big Papa. There were plenty of guys on the roof and in the building, and shooting them outside sometimes gave me wanted stars, so I had to be patient here. Inside, I cleared out the house, and after a while, we reclaimed Mad Dog's mansion. Feels like just yesterday I murdered a dozen people in here for a rhyme book. Out of nowhere, Torino interrupted our recording session and told me I could see my brother if I stole a military jet and destroyed a bunch of spy ships. Stealing the jet was fine, but the flight controls for this were so awkward that it took forever to destroy the boats without crashing. Surprisingly, I didn't get wanted stars for going in Easter Basin or for shooting these boats. After that last mission, I could finally pick up Sweet from jail, and I was very excited. And so is this cop car that was stuck in the road. Maybe I'm nostalgic because being buried in cement also brings back good memories. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop bringing this up. Sweet was not thrilled to see me after I did so much to get him free, but okay. I'd been away from Grove Street for so long that now it was full of ballas and crack dealers, so we had to clear them out, and the cops ignored us. I walked in on Sweet about to smoke crack, so we went to beat up the dealer instead. We regained some territory before getting absolutely sniped, and then on a retry I got wanted before finally taking out the dealer and securing this area. Sweet even helped kill the last few guys since they seemed to be the ones getting me wanted. Sweet wanted to do more for Grove Street, which CJ disagreed with, and even though I freed his ass, we did what he wanted and fought more ballas. And Sweet literally got run over, but we still gained more territory. I went back to Mad Dog and we saw OG Loke's new video, so we chased him down and got Mad Dog his record deal back. We also found out Tenpenny was not being charged of any crimes, which pissed off everyone. So now it was time to start a riot. From this point, Los Santos was in full chaos mode and the streets were lawless. Buildings on fire, random people fighting, people actually listening to OG Loke. Oh wait, we stopped that. It was almost as bad as Twitter. Caesar needed my help, so I went to help him, and even though I was shooting out in the open, the cops didn't care.
Alright, that's the last of them.
Wait, did someone say The Last of Us? Now I only had one goal left. Find Smoke. Sweet called to say we needed more rep to get Smoke's location by taking over Vagos and Balla's territory. The problem was we needed to hold 35% of the territory, and since I kinda neglected Los Santos the whole game, we had a lot less than 35. This part took hours of just going around to different areas and clearing them out to claim for Grove Street. Most of the time shooting was fine, but on occasion I'd get wanted and have to redo the entire territory, making this take even longer. I needed to take over 20 territories, which was extremely time consuming for many reasons. Sometimes I needed to defend existing territories, a Grove Street guy carjacked me, and my girlfriend called.
I need some attention.
I'ma come pick you up.
No, I'm not. I'm sure she's fine, but I was still determined.
Ain't that a surprise? I got a good one.
And after a long journey, Sweet called and said he knew where Smoke was at. The final mission was a major pain, but thank God I found out it was one of the only missions with checkpoints. First, I had to steal a tank, break into Smoke's building, and shoot my way through different gangs and police until I finally confronted Smoke.
How'd you know it was me?
Knew it was my 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7.
Who had a ton of health, but honestly wasn't hard to fight.
I can't be touched!
With Smoke down, Tenpenny was now the only foe left. Well, technically there was another Smoke I had to fight. I had to escape this burning building and very slowly put out the fire without dying before time ran out. The lights were also off for this part, and the game suggested I use night vision goggles. Huh. That was weird. Which is an underrated, terrible game design choice because the vision flares up when you look at fire, so why would you use them in the fire section? I hated this section so much. I made it out, chased Tenpenny, and sweet drove while I shot. And after all that, shooting at cops gave me no wanted stars, so I could do whatever I wanted here. Eventually, Tenpenny crashed on Grove Street and died, and we all lived happily ever after. Well, mostly. At the end of the game, the grand total was 22 wanted stars, which, considering I had to complete 87 missions, is not bad at all. And with most of the main series GTA games done, there's only 2 more left. I hope you guys enjoyed this challenge, and if you think I can avoid any of these wanted stars, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, subscribe to Epic Cakes Gaming for more challenges like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.